Greetings, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising, and Sagittarius Moon. Welcome to your reading for September 2023 by LightWorker. Thank you very much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This is a general reading. If you'd like to have a private consultation, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or visit my website www.amalightworker.com. For those of you who would like to know more, I have done a whole new reading for your sign and for each sign of the zodiac, and those are available for download and purchase through the Vimeo link posted down here below in the show more description box. I am going to be doing an Akashic reading first, followed by a few tarot cards. So allow me to focus on the Akashic Records reading for your zodiac sign. September will be a mixed boat of emotions. Understand that when I do an Akashic Records reading, I have to say word per word what the Akashic Records are telling me. And it's very surprising that they are describing your emotions as a boat of emotions. At the beginning, you may feel the need to slow down, to rest, to recuperate, to recharge, maybe to review a situation, feeling a little bit introspective. But then you are going to realize how much has happened, even though at the surface it feels like nothing really has changed. Many of you are about to take an important decision connected to your love affairs, connected to your love matters. Some of you may decide during this time to put a stop to an affair that you may be having. Other Capricorns may feel that there is something to be celebrated in your love life, within your marriage, if you happen to be married. And for those of you who are still searching for a love partner, for a soulmate, it does feel that everything is aligning up for you, because surprisingly, even though some of you may not be prepared for it, in the next 16 months of your life, starting from September, you are going to be divinely guided towards meeting people, dating people, towards creating a relationship, a love relationship, and even getting married. Because this is the general reading, understand that timing will be different for all of you, but karmically speaking, energetically speaking, you are entering a whole new dimension of your spirit evolution, where your soul is calling the name of another soul, of your soulmate. You have to understand that whether you are somebody who is still looking and you are single, whether you are somebody who may find yourself in some sort of a crisis in your marriage or in your relationship, do not be afraid to turn your back onto something negative, or even having to go through a breakup, because you have to understand, in this life you are not meant to be alone. They are also telling me that many of you will be going through some form of transformation. Some of you could be transforming your physical appearance, your wardrobe. You may have to go through cosmetic procedures. Some of you may be doing some fillers or something cosmetic, or even plastic surgery that enhances your beauty. Other ones may be going through a website that you may have. If you have a profile post on LinkedIn or any other social media, you could be changing that profile, the pictures. You may be changing your resume, adding stuff to your resume. So how you present yourself to others, that will be transforming. Even in the workplace, for those of you who are in working relationships, who have a job, how you present yourself in the workplace, in the work environment, this is also going to change. You may be going through changing, transforming, making better a website you may have. If you deal with products, if you sell products, okay, you are now going to discover new products, new strategies to sell. If you are somebody who works with commissions, any type of jobs where you get a cut of the sale, you are going to discover and even master, okay, ways, new strategies for you to sell, to make a profit. They are also telling me that during this time, many of you will be drawn to professions that are connected to medicine, medical professions, alternative medicine, and different forms of healing, including energy medicine or healing through energy. You are for sure going to be curious about something new. It could be out of your character. Maybe usually you're not curious about this kind of stuff. Some of you may be curious about, what's happening in this person's life, this other person, what's happening with their love life. Could be a friend of yours, could be a child of yours, could be a relative of yours. So you are going to feel curious about knowing the whereabouts of a person, what is happening with them. You may decide to search them online. Some of you may feel curious about what's happening, particularly in a situation involving a neighbor, the neighborhood. Some of you may be hearing during this time gossip that is going around through the grapevine. This could be gossip in the workplace or gossip that is going on among neighbors or in a community that you belong. You are going to have the sense occasionally. Sometimes you feel like, hey, I'm just going to pack and leave because I cannot deal with this situation anymore. You may be dealing with people that are very annoying, particularly if you have children or if you take care of children. They may prove to be very annoying. It could be noise in the neighborhood that may be very annoying. You are also going to have to learn to adapt and to adjust to something new with technology. It could be during this time that maybe something in your computer did one of those automatic updates, and now you have to learn, to navigate through the new update. Maybe that could be happening to something in your phone or other devices that you use where there's an update, and now you have to learn to use the new apps or adapt into learning how to use the new updates. One thing is for sure, little by little, many of you are establishing yourselves as the person to go to, as a person who has a great skill, a great knowledge. This may be happening in the workplace. You are creating a good reputation. That's the person to go to. That's the person to hire. That's the person to resolve the problems. This may be happening among your circle of friends and relatives. That's a person to go to if you need help or some personal advice. That may be happening in another community where you belong. Many of you are also going to be dealing with a circumstance where you may be asked or required or volunteer to showcase a talent or a skill that you may have. You may be asked to perform. Some of you are going to choose to volunteer in some circumstances, volunteering your skill, your talent, volunteering your time. You are slowly but surely rising on top. For those of you who are concerned about a job or your career, I get from the Akashic records that over time, probably for many of you it already started, over time, you are going to notice this steady increase in your pay, this steady increase in your work. And I'm even getting the sense that some of you may be dealing with different opportunities at work where you may be asked to choose between this choice or that choice, this opportunity or this other opportunity. So you are going to be dealing with choices presented to you. You may also have to learn how to navigate through your own feelings. You may have to learn how to navigate through ups and downs of life, through ups and downs financially as well. I am sure that for some of you, some of the money that is yours may not be available. It's either still being processed into, from one bank to another, from one account to another. There could be some sort of a glitch that is going to be temporarily, okay? And then that money will be available to you. Many of you may be dealing with a government branch, government officials. Some of you may be looking into purchasing a home or property. You may be looking into areas that are connected to 401k, pension, investments, food stamps, benefits that you are entitled to from the company, the job that you work for, or benefits that you qualify for from the government or from the state to you. So it does feel that something that was stopped or maybe temporarily stopped, maybe benefits or rights, now will be returned to you. So maybe they stopped your, your Section 8 or financial aid you get from the government or food stamps. So that it feels like a temporary situation, and then boom, it will be available to you. If you had certain duties, responsibilities, or rights through your work and maybe temporarily they had to stop, now they will be available to you once more. If you are in a circumstance where you have resources that you share with another person, a spouse, an ex-spouse, maybe temporarily the child support or the spousal support wasn't available to you, now it will be coming back to you. You will be able to have access to it. You also have to be very aware to assess, to understand, and to comprehend your own limitations. It's very important that you do not push yourself too much. Even in your daily life, you have to understand that sometimes if you feel like your body wants to slow down and to rest, you have to respect that. So may not be the ideal time, Sagittarius, to test your boundaries, okay? Your limits, whether that is physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, or even energetically. You have to be able to work with what is happening in your daily life. So in September, you have to take life one day at a time. If you are dealing with important deadlines, travel arrangements, you have to allow for some extra time, wiggle time in these plans, deadlines, travel arrangements, because there could be something that is slightly different from these plans or travel arrangements. So you're going to need some wiggle time in between tasks, in between things that you do in your daily life as well. Some of you may be dealing with a person with whom you may turn to express your concerns. This could be someone in the workplace, maybe a supervisor, maybe you have to address something with the HR, maybe it is a complaint. Some of you may have to, you will feel drawn to talk to a mentor, a coach, a spiritual mentor, to a psychologist. Some of you may be consulting with a doctor. You could be consulting with a dentist or another healthcare practitioner. Some of you are going to be consulting with a friend or a family member whose usually opinion you trust. You may not be too sure about the kind of advice they may be giving you this time around, but maybe the person advising you, maybe they don't know the full picture yet. They don't know everything just yet. So sometimes you have to know that balance between I am relying on the advice of other people, or am I listening to myself, to my own intuition, and to my own psychic ability. And it is okay to ask a few people, to ask a few experts, and it's okay to get a second opinion if you need to get a second opinion. And at the end of the day, you are still going to make your own choice. And if you choose to listen to yourself instead, then that is your choice. I'm shown that some of you, maybe recently you had some water related issues, and water related issues showed up with other zodiac signs. I can't remember which ones right now. This could be related to plumbing issues. This could be related to rain, flooding in floods in the area, maybe like a tornado as well. I don't know what this is, but it does feel that some of you have felt the results of some extremes connected to the nature-made disasters, and some of you may have to be aware. You may be witnessing a fire somewhere. Could be in the area where you live as well. Could be a nature-made fire, but it could also be like a man-made fire. So some of you are going to be witnessing this type of disasters. You have to understand yourself better. If you need to take your time to process your emotions, to process the situation, okay, then you're going to have to do that. Sometimes it works best for you when you take the time that you need to assess the situation, to consider different options, to process everything. Because once you know in your mind what you need to do, that gives you the security that you need internally. And then you have the power to go out there in the world and to make it happen. Okay, so time will be of an extreme importance, the timing of everything in September. You are also going to be dealing with people who may, to you, they may sound like they are criticizing you. Okay, they may be telling you, oh my God, oh my God, you are throwing this opportunity away. You should take a second look at this person in a dating situation. You need to look at, another look at this job offer, job opportunity. Okay, yes, you are going to be dealing with non-sayers. You may be dealing with people that are less sympathetic toward you or less empathetic toward you. But that's going to teach you one thing, Sagittarius. That's going to teach you who have been your hidden enemies all along and who have been your supporters all along. You are going to be able to see through deceit, whoever is trying to deceive you. You are going to be able to understand the scam. If you are dealing with scammers, you are going to be able to see and understand who is coming from a place of pure heart and who is coming from a place of ill intentions toward you. And yes, of course, I have done a whole new reading for your sign and for each sign of the zodiac. It is available for download and purchase through the Vimeo link posted down here below. Now, don't go anywhere. I'm not done yet. I'm going to open a few tarot cards for your sign. The first card that wanted to show up for you is Two of Wands. And to me, it means opportunity coming together, people coming together to help you in the sense of sisterhood or brotherhood. Sometimes it also means you are on the verge, you're not there yet, but you are on the verge of collecting one by one what do you need to create the foundation as to where you want to go from here. So it's like you're taking you're getting a sense of the lay of the land. Okay, how is it that you want to proceed from here? You may also have to deal with some worldly news. You may be getting news about what's happening in the world, maybe people that you know across the pond. Okay, you may be very interested in what is happening politically with different politicians in your area, in your country, or what is happening globally with their finances. Some of you during this time may be thinking about, should I move? Should I renovate? Should I renew a contract? What should I do? Because for some of you, there could be a circumstance that you may be dealing with that has to deal with the place of residence, the home environment. Okay, the home environment, the energy of the home environment may be shifting and changing during this time. So you may have to consider certain choices. So for some of you, this may also be in connection to a date. You may be considering, like, do I go out again on a date with this person? So it could be that some of you could be rethinking a strategy, rethinking a plan. You could be reconsidering, or there's a circumstance where for some reason you may be dealing with an ex, running into an ex, thinking about an ex. So in some ways you may have to address some issues with an ex. I mean an ex-lover, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-spouse, that type of ex. The next card that you have is Page of Wands. Page of Wands to me represents, if it represents a person, it represents somebody of the zodiac sign Sagittarius, so that could be you, Aries or Leo. This could be the sun sign, the rising sign, or the moon sign. It represents travel, passion, a message coming to you from far, a career move, a spiritual or a philosophical message, a person full of energy who is ready to satisfy his or her curiosity in new places. And sometimes it also means to be or to feel the center of attention to a leader. So for some of you, things could be going very well in a love related circumstance when you're going to feel like the center of attention in the life of this person. For some of you, this attention is coming to you through anything that you are posting on media, social media. You could be gaining a lot of followers during this time. For those of you who are on social media and are looking to gain new followers, it does feel that you could be breaking ground, whatever that means for you. Okay, and some of you are going to be connecting with a whole new circle of people that may be happening online as well. Connecting with a new circle of people online as well. And some of you, I keep hearing that you are going to feel reconnected to a couple of people, a couple of friends that you haven't seen in a long time. So it feels like you're going to be bonding with some people from your past. The next card that you have is the soulmate card, and next to it is the obstacle card. So let me see what this means. And I do read the cards intuitively. It is time for many of you to kind of sort out who your soulmates are. Your soulmates are not necessarily only in a love relationship, because I'm getting the sense here that for some of you, they are talking about your spiritual soulmates with whom you are going to feel connected through a meditation, through a dream. Important messages about your soulmate group will be coming to you during this time. And I also keep getting intuitively through the soulmate card that some of you will be doing some ancestral type of work. You could be working on your family tree, genealogy. You may be getting your, some people get their blood tested for DNA. Some of you are going to be working with a healer or doing some other kind of work that is connected to your ancestry line. It could also be that during this time, whatever soul contracts you had with your soulmate group. Your soulmate group could be your family of DNA with whom you share DNA, could be the family that you have created with friends, your children. So I'm talking about your spiritual soulmate. So some of you during this time, it does feel that you are about to sign new karmic soulmate contracts, thus dissolving an old soulmate contract. You are going to be very aware that you're going to feel like, okay, I have made a decision no matter what the costs, because in some cultures it's difficult to break a relationship or to leave a marriage behind. But for some of you, it's going to be very clear to you whether you want to break an old vow so that you reestablish once again your happiness. So what makes you happy? The next card that you have is obstacles, but the way how this is being presented to me, it does feel that you are going to be dealing with temporary obstacles. For those of you who have been dealing with financial obstacles, maybe in the last couple of months or even in the recent 3 years, suddenly, one by one, this one obstacle after another will be taken care of, removed, like it's clearing the way for you. Okay, and before you know it, you're going to feel more confident about a financial circumstance in which you have been struggling. So whatever obstacles may appear in the meantime in September could be connected to technology, travel, or communication, or even fights that may be happening, disagreements that may be happening, will only last temporarily. I keep getting a sense that there's going to be a connection between what's happening and how you feel in September 2023 with December 2023. So you may want to come back to this reading around December as well, because there's definitely a connection here. The next card that you have is Inner Child here in Naomi. It is a time where you are going to show up to influence a lot of people in your life, and you are not just going by the idea that who do I need to influence today. But it does feel that one of those abilities that you have is to influence people without even being aware of. During this time, you may be receiving news about a child being celebrated, or some sort of good news in regards to a child, a pregnancy, or fertility treatments, and a birth. Some of you during this time could be birthing new ideas, and I do get the sense that you are going to have a need to come out and play, to connect to your inner joy. You are going to be invited to some type of celebration that is going to be happening outdoors, could be in somebody's backyard. I'm even noticing through visions that I'm getting, a lot of you spending time either in the front porch, in the deck, wanting to spend some time outside rather than indoors. You may have to address something about a car, and I got a similar message for another sign as well. So you may have to figure out the transportation to and from. It could be a one-time thing that you need to figure out, the transportation, but you may have to deal with it. So there's going to be situations when you have to figure out transportation, situations in regards to a car, but whatever happens, one by one, little by little, emotionally, you are going to get the sense that you are regaining your freedom once again. I hope that this is making sense to you. Do leave me a comment down here below. I'm always curious to hear from you. And if you'd like to know more, I have done a whole new reading for your sign and for each sign of the zodiac, and it is available for download and purchase for those of you who are interested through the Vimeo link posted down here below. If you'd like to have a private consultation with me, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or visit my website www.amalightworker.com. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I will reconnect with you again in the next video. Bye for now.